The Untold Legacy, Black Presence in the Bible. The Bible's narrative has often been shaped by cultural bias and omission, centering European imagery while sidelining Africa and its people. But what if the story we've been told is incomplete? What if the Bible reveals a diverse narrative where Africa and Black people are central to God's plan? This isn't about rewriting history, it's about reclaiming it. The melanated origins of humanity. Genesis 2-7 tells us God formed Adam from the dust of the ground. In Africa and the Middle East, that dust is dark and rich. Science confirms humanity's origins in Africa, meaning the first humans were likely dark-skinned. This challenges Eurocentric images of Adam and Eve, reminding us that God's image was first reflected in dark skin, affirming the dignity of all people. Africa, the heart of biblical history. Africa isn't a footnote in the Bible, it's central. Noah's son Ham fathered African nations like Cush, Ethiopia, and Mizraim, Egypt. Key biblical events, from Abraham's journey to Egypt to Moses' upbringing in Pharaoh's palace, unfolded on African soil. Even Jesus found refuge in Egypt as a child. Yet this truth has been buried, replaced by a Eurocentric narrative that erases Africa's significance. Black figures of power. The Bible is filled with Black figures who shaped God's plan. Nimrod, a descendant of Ham, was a mighty ruler. Moses' Ethiopian wife sparked a divine rebuke against racial prejudice. Numbers 12-1. The Queen of Sheba, an African monarch, brought wisdom and left a legacy tied to Solomon. Simon of Cyrene, a Black man, carried Jesus' cross, sharing in his suffering. These figures aren't marginal, they're central to the story. The Curse of Ham, a damaging lie. The Curse of Ham was a misinterpretation used to justify slavery and racism. The truth? Noah cursed Canaan, not Ham, and Canaan's descendants settled in the Middle East, not Africa. This lie was weaponized to dehumanize Black people, but the Bible is clear. All are made in God's image, and no race is cursed. Prophecies and Black struggles. Deuteronomy 28-68 speaks of people taken in ships and sold as Slavisa passage, echoing the transatlantic slave trade. Yet the Bible also promises redemption. Just as God delivered the Israelites, He sees Black struggles and promises justice. Our past doesn't define us, God's promises do. A faith beyond race. Christianity isn't a white man's religion. The gospel reached Africa before Europe, and Black Christians like Augustine shaped early theology. Revelation 7-9 shows heaven filled with every nation, tribe, and language, a vision of God's diverse kingdom, a divine heritage. Black people aren't an afterthought. We're chosen, called, and created for a purpose. From the first humans to the early church, Black people have been part of God's story. Today, Black Christians are spreading the gospel, leading churches, and transforming communities. Our history isn't just struggle, it's faith, resilience, and divine favor. Conclusion: reclaiming our story. The truth about Black people in the Bible is a spiritual awakening. It's a call to embrace our divine identity and live boldly in God's purpose. Our faith isn't borrowed, it's rooted in Scripture. Let's celebrate our heritage, reclaim our story, and walk in the truth. God's plan has always included us. This is our legacy. This is our truth.